What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda. Amanda, another great week of football to talk about. You excited?
Yeah, this was another weird week, but I feel like it was more predictable this week, which I like. Like the
Yeah,
picks were okay. There were some really great close games, some great matchups, some back and forth shootouts, which I love. So it was a good week.
yeah. Me and Abe were just talking about how right around Thanksgiving, you start to see the corrections and the league starts to make sense. Abe, great to have you back on, All Pro Abe. A lot of fun, a lot of great football in Week 11, huh?
Yeah, it was like strictly what Amanda said because we're more abrupt to real football is compared to you. So we were okay this week. We were kind of like, oh, it's real football this week. I can manage the stuff that is happening. A few injuries out here that I that kind of hit home personally. I think with everybody, because I mean, even though he's older, seeing old boy go out with his little left arm, it's actually pretty serious. Like I was joking about it, kind of how Amanda was like, shit, it only the left arm, like he got the right arm. So I was kind of joking about it too, but then thinking about it being a quarterback and having to get hit and trying to like maybe trying to block someone out of the way or trying to make a pass and you fall back on it and make it worse. So seeing Aaron getting hurt kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. He was still kicking it for the 40 years old. The 40-year-old guys are still out there. It hurt my feelings a little bit.
It's crazy to me that they're like, yeah, he can still play this weekend. I'm like, is he gonna have a cast on? Like, I know it's a mild fracture and it doesn't require surgery, but like their left arm is involved in a lot of movement. Like, is he gonna be out there with a sling on? What do you mean he's gonna play this week? Like, he doesn't even get a week off. Like, and as a Packers fan, like it's just a broken hand. Like Brett Favre played through worse, but I wouldn't be playing football with a fractured hand, wrist.
Exactly.
Like, I would not do that.
I think Aaron Rodgers would have to be paralyzed not to want to beat the Bears another time. So I think that's what it's rooted in.
And we know
But
that perked up Rodgers is the best Rodgers. So.
let's get into these games real quick. Abe, me and Amanda talked about the Jets and the Patriots game. The Patriots won 27-14. Um, what do you think about New England? Are they for real? Are you buying them? They look like contenders. Vrabel's doing a great job over there.
I do think they are contenders. I'm not going to say just because of this game because they played the Jets. This is a game they're supposed to win, and that's why I said me and Amanda on the same accord. These are the games that we can check off as like the Patriots supposed to win. Whether it's a good game for the Jets or New England, this is a game they're supposed to walk off the field feeling confident, saying, "Okay, this is one that we." Not saying a roll team like one of the teams you're supposed to just roll through, but this is what it's supposed to be. Drake May supposed to have 281 yards, no turnovers. The Jets are supposed to try to find anyone to not saying replace Justin Fields, but find someone, who they're going to pass the ball to, how they're going to score. The defense is going to be better. They're looking for new cornerbacks. So we know, like with the Jets, you kind of know the season is over with because they stacked up for the next couple of years. But you do want to see them competitive. And 27-14 is a competitive game for me, especially with the quarterback situation, I guess you can say. But this is a
Yeah,
Vrabel team. If you look at Tennessee and you look at what he's bringing here, whether Drake May is the greatest quarterback we ever seen and he's the next Tom Brady, I think it has a lot to do with Mike Vrabel putting him in the position to be a great quarterback.
I was making jokes on the last episode and I was like, I feel like New England fans are just so spoiled because like it's been so long since they've seen an MVP Super Bowl winning like dynasty out there. Like, oh, there's preschoolers who haven't seen a Super Bowl win. Like, ew, like take a break, give somebody else a turn.
yeah, it's crazy. 8 game winning streak, and it looks like they're going to snap the Bills a 5-year run of division championship. So, but the ultimate test for New England will come in the playoffs. So we'll see how they handle that. Amanda, did you get up early to watch the Commanders and the Dolphins in Spain? Actually, a pretty competitive game.
Yeah, Alex is our resident trash panda on the show. He's our raccoon. He loves garbage. Alex just loves shitty matchups. No, I did not watch this. I saw overtime. I like that it went to overtime. Like that's a good way to
Yeah.
like span that gap between when this game should have ended and when the regular 10 a.m. slot started for West Coast. But no, I don't like a game that ends on a kicker missing a makeable kick. I think that's dumb.
Yeah, that got him cut for missing a couple kicks, Matt Gay. But Abe, the Commanders were in this game. They almost stole it from Miami, but Mariota with a big interception in overtime kind of sealed the deal.
Well, I actually had an event, so I was sparingly watching the game because my daughter got to meet Drewski this week. I've got all kind of great stories for her now, but yeah, I had to be there at like 9:30. So from 9:30, I was watching the game and kind of like doing an event and everything. But I ended up watching the highlights. I saw Mariota play well. But it's like 2, 3, and 7 teams, and it would seem like it'd be 40-40. And it seemed like the defenses came to play on the two terrible teams. Like this is the 13-16 game. Like this is a game we were thinking it would be like 40-38, and somebody get carried off at 500 yards. Next team, and now the defense just plays exceptionally well. The two is only third for 130 or 171, and I guess I don't know. It was just like this is the only game that kind of was weird to me because you see 3 and 7, we thinking like blowout type score, but it was, I don't know. It ended up being a competitive game. I guess it was good for the NFL to have a competitive game on at that time in the morning, but I don't think a lot of people watched.
Yeah, multiple turnovers on downs. The Dolphins almost threw this game away with a turnover on downs late, like 4th and goal at the 1, and they can't punch it in. They refuse to kick a chip shot field goal to take the lead. It's so weird, but good on the Dolphins. They get to 4 and 7, and there's an opportunity for Miami. We pretty much buried the Dolphins and said they were done, but they're hanging around. And
as soon as they beat the Bills, they unburied themselves. They were clawing out of that hole.
yeah, and they got home against the Saints, at the Jets. They got the Bengals. They got some winnable games coming up, so we'll see. Maybe they're not dead yet, but good
They
job
definitely
getting
be
in
good
there.
next week. Both teams will be great next week, right? Both of them got bye weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Great week, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Don't worry about anything next week.
Abe, how about your Falcons? Let's talk about them real quick. The season's kind of come undone. This team had a lot of potential going into the year. I thought they were, a potential playoff team, but now they find themselves on a 5-game losing streak and so close to beating the Panthers, but couldn't quite pull it off in overtime.
Yeah, losing Penix, I think, really hindered their game a lot. This team, and I talked about it before. It's like they don't have the ability. They don't know how to win yet. It's not like they're not a terrible team. It's not like you throw a lot of interceptions, don't have a lot of turnovers. You have one of the best players in the league, and it's just like you can't make anything with that guy. And it makes absolutely no sense. And you have 7 first-round draft picks on your starting offense. To me, that is ridiculous that you can't, win a game. And now they have to put it in the disgruntled or the guy you kind of threw to the back and was trying to, now he's going to have to lead your team. And even like me seeing him yesterday walking through the locker room, it still don't. It was kind of like he was there, but he wasn't there. Because like last year when he walked through the locker room, it was more like, "Hey, Kirk." Everybody was like speaking to him and all that stuff. And I went in there, and it didn't feel like it was a losing team. Even though I know they were losing, I ended up seeing Coach Morris, gave him a big hug, and it was kind of like one of those hugs when your kid doing bad and they don't want to say that, so they give you a hug and they kind of just walk away. They don't really talk a lot. It's just like, "Hey man, love you too, man." But it's kind of like one of them. I don't know, like they already tell you, I don't know. But hopefully they can make a resurgence. Like I don't want to see Raheem leave because of personal feelings for him, but being like in this industry and knowing what goes on when it comes to like Terry Fontenot, you wasted a pick. And I'm not saying wasted because I love Penix as a guy and a person, but a lot of people in Atlanta now feel like it was a bad decision. It was a bad pick. Even though we got Bijan, but you got Penix, and they're like, okay, what was that pick? And I think they're trying to judge everything from Penix compared to the 2 defensive ends. I mean, the 2 pass rushers we got this year that seemed to be pretty good. We didn't get Kyle Pitts was so long ago before he got there, but you take Bijan, you take Penix, and you take the 2 picks that they got this year. It's not really bad for Fontenot like they're trying to make it look. They're trying to make like Fontenot just a terrible like how he drafts terrible, but like 7 of your first round picks are, like, I mean, 7 of the offensive players are first round picks. And then you have like 2 other guys that are going to be starters sooner or later in this league. So I don't know. It's going to be tough because losing a game like this was, and I actually sat in the stands and got to talk to the real fans, and the fans are just like, we're just here just to watch the game. We know what's going to happen. We know this, but we're here, and it was kind of empty, but it was still like you could just tell they were so, I guess, in tune with it. They're just used to it now, and you hate to have a fan base that feels that way. They know they're coming, but like we're gonna end up losing. They just stayed for the whole game, and they were just like, here it goes. What we gonna do now? Oh, this is gonna happen. I'm like, man, I feel so bad for y'all because I'm not connected to it like that anymore. I'm more on this side now, so I have to be, pretty much politically correct. Just watch good football. Like, hopefully this. Then I got to call it how I see it, but I just can't get personal too many times.
So I'm concerned about Michael Penix's conditioning because if you look back to his collegiate careers, he's avoided injuries the past couple seasons. But October 2018, tears his right ACL, out for the season. November 2019, right shoulder injury, ends his season. November 2020, ACL tear again in the right knee. Luckily, the injury this time is his left knee with a bone bruise, potentially damaged ACL. But they seem to be pretty quiet about information that they're sharing right now. I like that they're seeking a second opinion. But then in 2021, his shoulder again. Like, what is what is something that you could see that would help him to avoid these injuries? Because that's 4 seasons in a row where he had season-ending injuries in the first half of the season. And now he's in the NFL. He's been okay. But do you think this is a trend that starts up again? Do you think it was just kind of a freak thing? Do you think his conditioning techniques need to be examined?
Well, me personally being injured a lot, I think my first year I missed, my third year, no, my fourth year I missed, my sixth year I missed, and my final year I ended up missing. And it had nothing to do with conditioning. Sometimes it's just your body. I don't care how you try to like. That's like even when I see stuff about Anthony Davis, I feel bad because I know how hard I worked to get like back. Like I'll get back, and then and it's definitely mental. And when
Yeah.
you're a quarterback, and because even like before the game, like during the game, they were talking like just the fans. Like I'm just listening to the fan. Motherfucker can't run. He can't do this. He can't. I mean, you gotta understand his mind is like,
Yeah.
like I'll go out here running because he might have got hurt on a run before, or he might have got hit when he was running. Because if you see the hit he took when he got this little ball, it was not like it seemed like a regular hit that a quarterback could take and just
Yeah.
jump up and be like, okay, I'm good. It was like nothing that was, oh my God, like something that you would turn on and like, oh, like the LT hit on you. Like it was nothing like crazy like that. So like sometimes it's just like you got to understand your body is not what you think it is. Because like me, it was my groin. Like I always tell people, like if I had my groin my whole career, y'all would have seen probably one of the most amazing pass rushers ever in my life. There was a lot of games that I didn't run full speed the whole game. Like I would like come around the corner, but then it was like shut it down because you don't want to tear the groin again because it's repetitive. You keep messing up, no matter how. And then sometimes, especially with a knee, it takes so long to truly heal a knee.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
and he's a fragile guy. I always tell people like he's so fragile. Like he just looks fragile. A guy can lift all he wants, and quarterbacks are not like super lifters. You don't see Cam Newton's walking around here. I heard like some guy was talking like, hey man, I ran into Cam Newton at the store. I said Cam is not a natural quarterback. Most quarterbacks look like Mahomes. They have the dad bods. They like you take. I promise. I saw Matt Ryan with his shirt. I thought like, well, what is that? So it's like we're not even used to seeing it. But I hope him the best. But knowing that it's so consecutively happen, it'll be a miracle. Like in my mind, to see him being a true starting quarterback for like straight years to come, because it's just like with injuries and especially early in your career like this, I'm glad he just got a big payday now because
Yeah.
everybody said he'll be a great backup, but it's just a scary situation, especially I know how he feels mentally, but I don't know because this is like the early in his career. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Win a couple years there. Once he went to Washington, he stayed healthy, and he stayed healthy early in his career. So hopefully, he can stay healthy going forward. Drake London got hurt as well. So the Falcons are just kind of down bad right now. Um, But the good news is they play the Saints in Week 12, so maybe that'll be the
Not a good. It's not a good. It's not. It's not good. That's the crazy thing about it. That's not good because the Saints defense tends to play well against Atlanta, and it's in New Orleans.
yeah
So, and you got Kirk Cousins coming back, and you might not have your lead receiver. So it's not good because if they lose this game,
yeah.
like I can see people moving chairs or moving furniture, as they say, because Saints are 2-8, and the Saints did win the game with Shaw Doe, whatever I want to say his name, but they won a game with. So it's kind of like I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little like because I don't know what team I'm gonna get. That like I don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna come on all cylinders. I don't know if they're ready to be with Kirk again. Kirk got to like really make up with all this. You know, you got a whole document on Netflix talking about how you was so, and it's like a lot of stuff that people like. You and Arthur going to have to start shaking hands again. You know, Arthur Blank, y'all going to have to start shaking hands. You and Raheem going to have to start being cool again. You know, the OC. Hey, Kirk, what do you think about this again? Like, this is going to be
Yeah.
really
And
weird. Like,
I feel like Kirk Cousins is validated being upset. Like when that all happened and that went down, and they were like, "Yeah, you're going to be our starter," and then they drafted someone without giving him a heads up. Like he had a right to be upset, but now he's getting another shot, so definitely needs to kind of mend the bonds there. I feel like we're talking about Atlanta a lot. Can we just talk about Bryce Young breaking the franchise record for 448 yards? Like, what a weird
yeah.
week when Bryce Young and Jacoby Brissett are setting franchise records and like NFL pass completion records. Like what year is it? I don't even know what's going on this year.
Yeah, Bryce Young had a great game. No turnovers, franchise record in passing yards. Rico Dowdle had a good game. Tedero McMillan had a big game. Um, the Panthers, I mean, I don't know who the Panthers are. We talk about the league is so week to week. You know, you
Mhm.
get beat by the Saints last week. Maybe the Saints are a little bit better than I think, considering they beat the Panthers, but I'm still taking Atlanta to beat the Saints. We'll see. Um, but yeah, good shout out for Bryce Young. Um, and then NFC South, no one seems to want it. Me and Amanda were talking about this on our picks episode. It's like the Bucks are losing, the Falcons are losing, Carolina's up and down. Who wants that division, you know?
Well, that was kind of my
But
take about the Bills Buck matchup, which we can talk about now, is that I thought it was going to be competitive. I thought it would be high scoring shootout back and forth. I thought both teams would be in it down to the wire. Absolutely right. But I wanted the
Mhm.
Bills to win because the Bills division is so much more competitive with the Patriots, who are an 8 game win streak. So I was like, the Bucks can afford to drop this one because the rest of their division is just kind of a mess.
Yeah, that's the good news for Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as much as I think Baker Mayfield was ready to win this one, and they were in it down to the wire. I mean, there was 9 lead changes in this game. That's tied for the second most in an NFL game ever. Like, it was a great game, but Buffalo cannot afford to drop this one. So I'm glad they squeaked it out at the end there. But I mean, that game was so much fun.
Yeah, Josh Allen went Superman mode, and Abe, you were talking about Cam Newton, and Josh Allen has tied Cam Newton with 75 rushing touchdowns for that all-time record. That's incredible, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. This game wasn't that amazing to me. Like the turnovers by the quarterbacks, I think were very huge to me. Even though he had 6 touchdowns, I think the like both of these are her guys, and they didn't really sure like 6 touchdowns. I can't knock that, but I'm saying that in this type of game, I wanted to see a kind of like one team dominate. Even though there are two great teams and they play like well, you know, Tampa Bay defense is good. Buffalo defense is kind of shaky. So seeing that it was a close game, you know, it kind of I don't know. Like I said, it's just me probably just overthinking what I saw, you know. But you know, Josh Allen definitely came on to show what kind of MVP player he is. I think Baker Mayfield is just tired though. I think he put a lot of punishment on his body earlier in the season, and now it's more like my guy's not here right now. You know, I don't have Evans. They got Mecca back, but it's like I think he puts too much stress on himself, and I think like at the end of the season he needs to relax more. and they got to call a little more running plays and get like they have two good running backs. Like they
Yeah,
have two good
this
running backs, not just
this
one.
is the first week where I've seen them take the weight off of Baker and hand it off to the running backs. I mean, between Sean Tucker and Rashad White, that was 200 yards of rushing, which
Yeah.
normally, like, they wouldn't have 6 wins if Baker hadn't taken so much of a beating early in the season. Because I can't tell you how many plays were like, oh, the Bucks are out of this one. Like, he's going to take a sack. And he pulled off some miraculous 15-yard run, drop back, put the team on his shoulders. So the Bucks wouldn't be where they're at if it he hadn't done so much so far, but I'm glad that they're leaning more on the run game with his wide receiver situation being what it is. This is the first time I've seen their play calling and been like, good, give the ball to your running backs. There's a reason you have two solid ones.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that no one is really challenging the Bucks. I mean, keep an eye on Carolina in that division, but the Bucks are going through a rough stretch here. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and it's not getting any easier as they're at the Rams next week on Sunday Night Football. Another extremely tough matchup. But Amanda, you have to be happy to see Josh Allen bounce back the way he did, throw up 6 touchdowns, and do that without Keon Coleman. And I had high hopes for Keon Coleman. He's starting to frustrate me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he is the replacement we wanted for wide receiver one. I think they need a wide receiver one.
Yeah.
I mean, we have other teams who we wanted to bring in a veteran wide receiver, and someone from their team has stepped up. Like Christian Watson stepped up in this last game for the Packers. I'm not really seeing anyone do that for Buffalo. I am a little concerned about Josh Allen's mental health. Did you guys hear his cackle as he ran in that touchdown? He sounded like a maniac. Like that's terrifying. This 6'9" guy is scoring on you, and he's just cackling like a freaking serial killer. Like I was like, honey, no. I don't know if he was just super amped up. I think it was his fifth touchdown of the game, but he sounded absolutely off his rocker.
He was having fun out there.
Mm.
Touchdowns galore. Hey, what? You're not buying the Keon Coleman aspect?
Mm, it's very. I think I sent y'all the little video,
Where
what of
you
him
dancing?
in like before the game, and that just shows the immaturity. Like, because
Yeah.
if I couldn't play in the game, and if I was scratched from the game, I remember after I got in trouble and I couldn't play in the game, I was on the sideline just sad because they just went out there and balled out without me. And being a player and seeing that, you should feel some certain way, like they can win without you. You ain't even important. So all that importance you think you are should have been showed how they won this game without you. And think about it. Oh, if I would have played, we might would have won more. We might would have won bigger. It might not been this close, or I could have been one of those touchdowns from Josh Allen. And it's just like seeing that, like it reminds me of Juju Schuster when he was younger, like worrying about dancing and trying to be hard, and because you have a little media behind you. At first everybody loved his little personality and everything, but people don't care if you ain't doing it on the field. Like you can have a personality, but after a while it gets corny. Like even
Yeah.
Juju don't dance no more. Juju get his ass out there and try to win for Kansas City. And I think a big thing that people think is you have a little success that every team, I can go to another team and do the same thing, or I can go here. And you gotta understand, people see this and they like, GMs, owners, they're like, yeah, we don't want that guy. Like if he couldn't do it with Josh Allen, what the hell are he gonna do with our guys? So people have to be very, very conscious of what they do. And like I told you, I talked to the rookies yesterday, and I had to tell these rookies, like, y'all think y'all try to walk around here so cool and everything, like this might be y'all last year in the league. I said, so
Yeah.
y'all better make all these relationships. Like the biggest thing when it comes to Alex, Amanda, and me is making a relationship. Through the years, we have made a relationship now, so we can talk a little trash to each other. I can send probably some stuff I ain't supposed to send to y'all because that's because
Stuff we won't say on the podcast, out
stuff
of
like
pocket.
yeah, I can send some stuff in. So that's what the younger guys, I'm telling them, like, F all this football thing. Make sure that y'all keep these relationships. So when you're doing stuff that's coming late, when you're doing this, you never know that guy right beside you as a player or a coach might go to another team. But if he sees how your work ethic, he sees certain things, come on over. Come on, you can come play with us, da da da. But if you have a trashy mentality and they know this about you, if they think you weren't about dancing, you weren't about going out, or you weren't about all this, yeah, we're not going to have you. So hopefully matures.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I see a player dancing around on the sidelines, I expect them to be top 10 at their position. He is the 79th ranked wide receiver in the league this year.
Yeah.
You don't get to
Yeah.
dance, dude.
he needs to produce. He needs to be more reliable. He needs to be on the field. And you got a guy like Tyrell Shavers who's making the most of Keon's absence and balling out. So, yeah, hopefully he gets his head, together and gets everything figured out. The Bills are going to be playing on Thursday night at the Texans, so another opportunity for Buffalo there. Speaking of the Texans, Amanda, the 4-5 Texans at the 1-8 Titans. They started out slow. They were losing early in this game, but they found a way to win 16-13. Good thing, the Texans defense is keeping them in games. And they need C.J. Stroud back ASAP, but he's not going to be back Thursday night, so they're going to have to go another game with Davis Mills, who's keeping them afloat, though.
Mhm. I mean, he's serviceable. He's not throwing a lot of interceptions, 274 yards. He had some passes that could have been interceptions, but he's playing pretty clean, but a serviceable backup. Like that's what you want from a backup. Don't throw the game away, keep him in, rely on your defense, hand the ball off if you need to. I think they should be relying more on Woody Marks here. I mean,
Yeah.
only 44 yards in this one. Like you have a good running back. I mean, he's a rookie, but trust him a little bit more. He's proven that he can get some good runs off.
Well, and Abe, the Texans, after starting 0-3, they're now 5-5. They're right back in the mix of things. Maybe if C.J. Stroud gets healthy, they get some guys back. Maybe they could sneak into the playoffs with a 7 seed or something.
I like Davis Mills to finish the season. If I was them, C.J. Stroud, he's put in the same offense. This is all he has to do. Like Davis is showing, like you don't have to be spectacular. You don't have to like try to force it in. Just get the ball to the receivers. Don't turn it over. Don't take sacks when you don't have to, and we win the game. Our defense is good enough that these are games that we can win. So I know they're going to take C.J. Stroud when he gets back and put him back in. But he just talks so much about not being conditioned at 23. He talked about how he's not mentally focused on this stuff. And then it's like at this team with this defense, they should be rolling through the AFC. They should be the contenders. Like, even though, they might don't have some of the players that they had, like, and I know I'm just talking trash a little bit, but if you have a quarterback that's consistent, whether he's a backup or not, CJ hasn't been like playing consistently, I would be like, you know what, we're going to ride with Davis for a couple more games till you get completely healthy. You throw that little lie in to make the quarterback, like, we just want to make sure you're okay. That concussion might still be bothering you. You got to wear a visor for it. We're going to make sure that you're good. Win a couple of games with Davis Mills, and then you're like, shh. All right, we're just going to go ahead and let Davis finish. You're still your team. It's still your team, buddy. We're just going to go and let him finish.
Gotta cushion the ego hit a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as long as you're winning, and if they beat the Bills on Thursday night, that'd be 3 straight wins. I mean, if you're winning, keep rolling with the guy. A lot like the
Just
49ers.
do what Miami did versus the Bills. It worked for them. Although I do think the Bills completely overlooked Miami and were not focused on that game at all. So I'm like, it kind of feels like they were just like, oh, Miami, let's look at the Bucks game. I feel like they just dropped that one.
Same thing they did with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Same thing they did with Atlanta. Atlanta, they looked flat. The same thing you're saying. It's kind of like, oh, we're just playing Atlanta. We're gonna go ahead and beat them, and it was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoops.
Yeah, and the Bills can't look past Houston. The Texans have a defense, and they're it'll be in Houston, so that'll be an interesting game on Thursday night. Abe, let's talk Bears Vikings. My Bears suddenly have won 7 of their last 8, and the thing that I'm most impressed with is they're not playing like perfect football. They're not, always getting out to fast starts, but they're finishing games the right way, and they're being clutch, and they're just doing just enough just to get the win. Are you the Bears now with Detroit losing? Our first place in the NFC North. Do you think the Bears can keep it up and keep Amanda's Packers in the rearview mirror here?
J.J. McCarthy is trash. Caleb Williams playing brilliantly. Even though he didn't pass for a touchdown, but he didn't have any turnovers. And I think their team has more confidence than I've seen in years. And I'm just being real, because just seeing how they come out, and I guess that's what shows what kind of quarterback Caleb is, because he's the same when they were losing too. He still had the same problem. He still had the same kind of arrogance. He still had the playful stuff, and they're winning now. He's still the same guy. So I can give him a lot of credit for being that kind of guy. Go all the way back to, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna say it. But go back to like old quarterbacks y'all had in the day, and it reminds me of one of those old quarterbacks. They wore number 9. So, and you know, like they didn't give a ish about anything, you know, whatever, you know, headband on. I didn't care, you know. That's what Caleb kind of brings to the game. Like, I don't care if y'all worry about my nails are. I don't care if y'all worry about how I dress and everything. I'm gonna go out here and sling this ball around, gonna win games. And I think it's leaking down to the team now. So I see the confidence in the team now. I'm a little bit of a believer.
Yeah, Ben Johnson, credit to him, Caleb Williams, but Amanda, JJ McCarthy struggled, and the Vikings seem to be trending on the way down. You know.
Yeah, I will say Chicago has played one team that's above 500 so far this season, and their upcoming matchups for the rest of the season, 6 of their next 7 opponents have winning records. And the
Yeah,
one
good to
that
hear.
doesn't is the Browns, whose defense can keep them in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm not writing the Bears off. I'm not discounting anything they've done. I'm glad they've taken advantage of weaker opponents and their record is solid. But I don't think they've really been truly tested yet, and I'm excited to see what happens with their harder matchups coming up. And again, I'm going to circle back to this alliance that they made with Philly. Weirdest shit ever. Philly is 3-0 versus the NFC North. And the Bears 3-0 versus Philly's division, and they get to play each other on Black Friday. So I'm so excited that they like have this under like back room under the table deal to like take down each other's divisions. Like that's so weird and I love it.
Hey, you gotta get alliances somewhere, help each other out. Um, but yeah, Amanda, I mean, you were talking all along about how the Vikings should have a veteran so JJ McCarthy can slowly come along. And the Vikings did the complete opposite of that. They went all in on McCarthy this year, and it's been super rocky.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they go. They don't have another option, really. They got to ride with JJ McCarthy, and it's just not looking good.
I mean, Joe Flacco might be available with Burrow coming back, although I think he needs to get picked up by Pittsburgh so he can compete his Infinity Stones of the division. I think it'd be hilarious. But they need something. They need a veteran. I mean, JJ handed the ball off in the championship in college. Like that's all he did. That team was
Yeah.
carried on the backs of the running backs. Like Blake Corum won the Natty. All
Yeah.
JJ did was hand the ball off. He didn't make any good passes. He needed more development. Everyone who knew anything about football knew that in the draft. And then they just did some dumb shit. And I think it's management's fault. I don't think you can blame a quarterback who's underdeveloped and who isn't given the right system to be developed in.
Yeah. Yeah, and even to that point, as bad as McCarthy's looked, he had an opportunity. He almost beat the Bears. So it came down to a game winning field goal, and I gotta tell you, I had very little confidence in that kick. I'm glad it went through, but I mean, it's such a helpless feeling to just sit back and watch your kicker and be like, I hope he makes it. But Bears find a way to keep winning. But they're going to be playing, and there's a chance they're playing Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers next. How are you feeling, Amanda, about the Vikings coming to Green Bay? That's a very winnable game, you know, a good opportunity for Green Bay, right?
Yeah, Green Bay overcame a lot of shenanigans in our last matchup. I mean, we had star players leaving the field every 5 seconds, but then most of them came back. The Josh Jacobs thing sucks. But I feel like I have more confidence in Jordan Love. I know people want to talk a lot of shit about him, but he had 11 incompletions in this one. 7 of them were
Mm.
drops. So if you look at
Yeah.
his ratings in this, I mean, 7 of those don't count. And I'm developing a lot more confidence in him. I know Malik Willis came in for a little bit and played really well. But if you look at quarterback EPA, excluding passes that were dropped by the receivers, Jordan Love is second in the league behind Drake May.
Wow.
So I know it's easy to hate on the quarterback and to kind of pin all the team's woes on them. We've seen it time after time in Chicago. You guys just burn through rookie quarterbacks like they're tissue paper. But Jordan Love has promise. I just wish we had that veteran number one wide receiver that I've been asking for 2 seasons now, and we have yet to bring in.
Well, that's the issue, Abe. Two of Amanda's teams, the Bills and the Packers, could have improved their roster. The trade deadline could have done something. They both need wide receiver help. Maybe Green Bay can get healthy and start playing better. How are you feeling about the Packers? They're very talented, but they're not playing their best football quite yet, you know?
Well, I think this game for me personally, seeing the touchdown passes by Jordan Love gave me more confidence than the whole year because I'm not saying he forced it, but he put him in the perfect thing, but he did force it. He forced him. He was like, I don't care if this guy double coverage. We got to win this
That
game.
pass to Watson was beautiful.
Pass to Watson was, yes. And that shows confidence in the quarterback. That shows confidence in receivers he had. And also, like, I don't know if he heard like somebody talking about him, but it was like, look, if he's going to be a good quarterback, he's going to have to start making those type of passes. Like, you got to force these people open. You can't just sit back and try to throw. I think I showed y'all that. I sent y'all that too. But I'm like, this is what I want to see from Jordan Love, because if he wouldn't have made those kind of passes, they would have lost this game flat out. It's not even if and the buts about it. Like, I know you had drops and everything, but you still got to be confident enough to say, F it. If I'm going down, I'm going down with the ship. So I'm going to force it in there and see him do that. That's what the biggest things for me, what I saw. Even if they would have lost the game, I still would have felt good because of that pass. Just that one pass to Christian. I was like, oh, yeah, that's something. Because he had time in the pocket, and he threw it. He let it go. He didn't hesitate. He didn't try to throw it away. He made the right play.
Yeah. This is the first time in a few weeks that I've felt that the play calling felt confident in Jordan Love's passing abilities. Like, I feel like we let him take control here. Josh Jacobs leaving the game definitely helped with that a little bit, but I feel like they were like, all right, Jordan, do your thing. And he kind of got to be a little bit more in control, and I feel like that worked really well for him.
It's crazy to say this far into Jordan Love's career, but it's kind of like take the training wheels off already. Let him play quarterback. And it's good to see LaFleur kind of open it up and have some faith in him. But Amanda, I am noticing one disturbing trend with the Packers, and I said when they traded for Micah,
this one, I got a couple.
Well, this one's a key one. All right, it reminds me when I traded for Micah, I said this team reminds me of my 2018 Bears, and I'm seeing something very similar in these Packers, and that's a kicker issue. And
Okay, no, zip your pie hole. There were 40-mile-per-hour winds in this game. You could see before the game started when they were practicing. We're not going to count the missed extra points by Havrizik in this one with 40-mile-per-hour winds outside like that. We're just not going to talk about kicking in this one because that doesn't make any fucking sense. There are videos of practice kicks before the game started where the ball is in the air going straight, whoo, off to the side, midair. You could see the balls being turned midair, so we're not going to talk kicking. You're wrong. Watch it closely in slow-mo. You can see where the wind gust catches it. So shut your pie hole. I literally wrote in my notes, it was windy as fuck. Shut up, Alex. In my notes, because I knew you were going to run your mouth about that. No. I don't think there's a kicking problem with Havrizik. I'm not going to count windy games against a player. We do have a special teams problem, and I have harped on this so many weeks in a row. 4 weeks ago, I said the Packers are dead last in punt return yardage. Let me just tell you this stat. 45 NFL players have returned 3 or more punts this year. Yards per attempt, we have the 43rd of 45, Romeo Doubs, the 44th of 45, Matthew Golden, and the 45th of 45, Keyshawn Nixon. We are the bottom 3 of all players who have returned punts. Special teams is fucking
get that figured out. Isn't Rich Bisaccia the coach? He needs to get that.
Someone was talking about him earlier, like, yeah, he left this team to go be DC, and I was like, or to special teams coordinator. I was like, I'll fight him. Like, Rich and I can throw hands because I don't know what he's doing. Like, how are we that bad?
Yeah, Bears special teams has been some issues, but they finally stepped up with a key play. But I'm glad that you know me so well. I get the premeditated shut the fuck up, Alex, in the notes. So
we've been doing this too long. I know you way too well.
So yeah, Abe, let's talk about Bengals Steelers. The Steelers pull away. They win this one easily, 34-12. Mason Rudolph came in and did pretty well. If Aaron Rodgers does have to miss some time with the wrist injury, do you think Mason Rudolph could keep this team competitive?
I think this is the Bengals. They played the Bengals. So it wasn't a pressure type situation. This is a game that he should have won. So, no, I don't think they need Aaron back as soon as they can get him back. I think that you could have put anybody pretty much in the Pittsburgh offense. You know how it's structured. As long as you can get the ball out quick and do certain things, you're going to win the game. But do I think like he's going to be Aaron Rodgers? No, they need Aaron just because he's Aaron. I mean, like literally just because he's Aaron, like having that leadership, having that comfortability. And like I said, most people, when you have a quarterback like that behind you, you block better. you try to catch more balls. I want to be that guy that caught a ball from Aaron Rodgers. I want to be the guy that make that great block for Aaron. Because think about it, they're going to be pissed off because the O-line is pissed off right now because they know they're the reason that he got hurt. Because he took a massive hit from like 2-3 people and he ended up falling back on his wrist. If that doesn't happen as an offense, you got to think like, what are we did wrong? Oh my God. So, like when he come back, they're going to be manned up, ready to play. So not saying they can't win with him, but I think it would be a big drop off. I'm sorry, it'd be a big drop off.
Amanda, I know Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, but I kind of want to see him play through that injury. I would love to see him against the Bears next week.
I think he does. I think he's too stubborn not to.
Yeah.
Although I just for Joe Flacco to come in and put on a Pittsburgh jersey just to complete the division would be hilarious. But I think he plays.
Yeah.
I just don't know what kind of air cast wrapping something they're going to do with that arm.
Yeah. I think what's helping Pittsburgh too is their defense is starting to play better. They get to 6-4. Real quick, Abe, what did you think of the spitting incident? Ja'Marr Chase has been suspended for week 12. He spit in Jalen Ramsey's face. Are we seeing more of the spitting? We've seen it now twice this year, or did you see it back in your day too?
Yeah, it was worse probably back in our day because it wasn't refereed like that. We didn't have the cameras on the field. We didn't have people. We didn't have like 5,000 cameras and cameras like strictly on matchups or strictly on when they start fights. So they got cameras on the pylons. They got cameras on football. They got cameras on referees. They got cameras everywhere. And to be so gullible that you think that nobody's going to see that you spit on somebody, even leaving a trace of spit on someone. Like I said, y'all trade enough bodily fluid just like running around with each other. We sweaty arms, ass cracks, everything, just be bumping each other, all kinds of stuff touched that you don't want to touch. I've touched way part of male anatomy than I didn't want to. It's just because you grab people, making tackles and all that stuff. But for me, it was just like at first I said I think they should have did more. Like when it comes to like, okay, you're going to suspend it 2 games. Okay, the next person do it, you get suspended 3 games because it's not about football. It's just gross, man. Like it's literally, I would never tell my kids to ever do that. I don't care if somebody do something to you, you just fight them back. But don't ever spit on somebody because spitting on somebody is probably the nastiest thing you can do. So like think about Romanowski and T.O. It go all the way back to then, and it was like it just happened to be on camera that we saw it. But like all this stuff happens, but it's a different league, man. And I'm sorry, if that was me, I would have did the same thing. And how Coach Tomlin handled it, just do what's natural, bro. Because I don't know about getting spit on. Like somebody spit on me, just do it natural. When I see videos of people just spitting on people, it just automatically turns my stomach and makes me just, automatically I'm like almost triggered when I see stuff like that. And I couldn't imagine somebody. I don't think someone ever did that to me.
Yeah, Amanda. I mean, the spitting definitely crossed the line, but that's an intense rivalry between Ja'Marr Chase and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying it was a dirty hit, but if you look at their interactions earlier in the game, like there was a pretty spicy hit, and I don't think it was a dirty hit. I don't think he did anything wrong on the hit, but it would definitely felt a little personal, like a little like he was going after him. So I mean, they've gone back and forth for years. Like they've always been spicy with each other. The only thing I really have an issue with, like if you do something in the heat of the moment because you're hot-headed and you're pissed off, like fine. The lying about it as if there aren't thousands of cameras on you is crazy to me. Like that's a character issue. Like if from the get he had been like, I got caught up in the heat of the moment, I did some dumb shit, that's my bad, I need to work on keeping my temper. Like we go way back, we've got a rivalry that, I get caught up in sometimes. Perfectly fine. Like that would have been so much more forgivable, but just lying to the entire world. No, I didn't do that. What is wrong with you?
And then to be busted blatantly on camera, like it's a bad look.
Such a bad look.
So he's suspended for a game. I mean, the Bengals, they were hoping to get Joe Burrow back in December and stay alive, but they fall to 3-7. Now Chase is suspended for the Patriots game. The wheels are coming off quickly for Cincinnati. Cam Taylor-Britt done for the season. So, yeah, good win for the Steelers. And the Bengals are going nowhere fast. Amanda, I was shocked by the Jags absolutely kicking the shit out of the Chargers, 35-6.
Picked
I
that
did
one
not see
so wrong.
I did not see that coming.
That was one of those weird games this year. I don't know. I mean, the Chargers look like a mess anyway. Like they had a lot of. I mean, Herbert looked horrible. That O-line is so bad. Like
Yeah.
the amount of time he has to get a good throw off is so limited. Like you can see him just like scrambling for his life on a couple of these plays. They couldn't get their run game going. Like the Jags defense isn't good enough to have your number one running back have 13 yards in a game. Like there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, Abe, I think credit to Jacksonville. I think the coaching staff and the mentality coming in was they were going to out physical the Chargers. They saw the weakness on the O line, and they really did. They took it to them and kind of punked the Chargers. It was an impressive showing for Jacksonville.
No, it feels like the league is just set up like this year. Like everybody gets one blowout game. Like, okay, you got one game, you don't got to show up. Like you got to dress out and everything, but you do not have to win. Okay, you do not have to worry about playing hard. You don't have to worry about doing anything sensational. Okay, everybody got to have that 30-point just beating for some reason because it was just bad football altogether for the Chargers. I don't know if it was sometimes I always say because it's the East Coast West Coast games, the travel and different
Yeah.
times and maybe you can't play at this time or feeling like I know a lot of times we went West Coast, it was a little tougher because of the travel. It's a little different. So maybe that had something to do with the time 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, all that stuff might have something to do with it. But you don't want to see this kind of game, but also this has been the league this year. You've seen teams that shouldn't be beat like this, getting like beat like this. And so it's nothing crazy, I guess. With this year, I'll say it like this. With this year, this is nothing crazy.
Fair.
Well, Amanda, the Jags are, kind of saving their season a little bit here. This was a win they really needed. They got it done, in a great style, a blowout win, and they play at the Cardinals next week. A great opportunity to get back on a winning streak, get to 7-4. Maybe they can still make the playoffs. We were, thinking that they were about done, but they're saving their season a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals is a good game to prove that they didn't just have a fluke win here. And
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, on the other side, the Chargers need this bye week so badly. So I'm glad the
Yeah,
Chargers have a
perfectly
week off.
timed. Yeah, yeah. Chargers. The bye couldn't come at a better time. And I still think the Chargers are a very good team. This is just one of those fluke games. It's a week-to-week league, and the Chargers will be all right. Um, Amanda, the Seahawks and the Rams, we went back and forth on this game. We knew this game was going to be a lot of fun, but a much lower scoring defensive battle than a lot of people expected.
I've been joking out here because we don't call any defense the Legion of Boom because that's sacred. But like this Seattle defense reminds me a little bit like it's a little reminiscent. Like I don't wanna say
Mhm.
it, but I mean they played a great game. I will say they've defended Sam Darnold. I've defended Sam Darnold. This was not his day.
Yeah.
And the Rams defense, I mean, caused a lot of those interceptions. I don't think they were all terrible throws. They were going after him. They had some beautiful snags on defense for those four interceptions. But this is Sam Darnold's third career four interception game. Like, I love that his players were on the mic telling people to shut the fuck up about their quarterback. I thought that was cute. But Darnold, clean it up a little bit. It's hard to defend you when you throw four picks.
Yeah, I tell you who was defending Sam Darnold really well, and that was Greg Olson in the booth. He was like, "Oh, that's not on Sam Darnold. He's just fine." But Abe, four interceptions, and that's really the difference in this game. If he doesn't turn the ball over like that, even with all those turnovers, Seattle still had a shot to win, but they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, well, they showed a play. So they played him last year when he was with the Vikings, and it was the exact same interception he threw to Kobe Durant.
Yeah.
So I think his team kind of knew him, and like Kobe has watched tape on him, so it was pretty much the exact same play that Kobe ended up getting an interception 10 months ago, and he ended up getting one. So I think they might have they literally do what I tell every other coach to do. get the same plays that the players like to do and use those plays. And I think they did that, but they had pretty much the same offensive mindset that they had the last time they played him. They was just like, here, we know what he's going to do. And they got 4 interceptions. And Kobe probably was watching film and just telling everybody else, he going to do this on the flat route. He going to throw this on the 6. So and that's what you do. That's the part of football that I love that people don't understand. And when I see people that really understand football and they know that people have to watch film and they have to do certain things, and you see people making plays, like you get 4 interceptions, you did your job. And I'm not talking about on the field. I'm saying you did your job in the classroom, because as hard as these quarterbacks work, that's just as hard as these DBs work. Because I said somebody was talking about how defensive end is it this and he don't need to know this and he don't know that. Complete lies. If you want to be a great defensive player or offensive player, knowing everyone's role will helps your life a lot. Like easily helps your life.
Yeah. And I've been saying this, and it's funny, Amanda. Pre-game, leading up to this game, I was on Twitter and I had this guy arguing with me and comparing. He's a Seattle fan. He was comparing Sam Darnold to Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Dan Marino. And I was like, you need to relax. I was like, I know Seattle fans are feeling the hype. They're hoping Sam Darnold's the guy. And I've been saying this for weeks, Sam Darnold in the biggest games blows a gasket and, it doesn't always play his best football. And we definitely saw that in this game. But to your point, Seattle, about the Seahawks defense, Amanda, they almost still won this game. If Jason Myers makes that kick, it's a whole different story.
I hate a game that ends on a missed field goal. Like you're getting overtime in some games because your kicker can't hit a kick. Like this game is lost because your kicker can't. And like these aren't 67-yarders. Like this is not a Hail Mary kick. Like you got to make mid-50s, guys. Like as a team with a kicker issue with McManus, we're not talking about this game with Havrizik because he has a pass with the wind, but it sucks. Like you have one job in the game, like to make a freaking field goal. You can't do it at the end of the game to keep us in, really.
Don't talk to me about missed kicks. I was at the double doink game. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, what game had the big doink this week? There was a beautiful thunk.
It was like so loud.
I don't remember which game it was, but I was like, oh, that's a good sound. I want to like set that as my like text tone.
I think that was like Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But big win for the Rams. They keep on rolling. And they got the Bucks on Sunday Night Football, so that'll be a fun game there. 49ers Cardinals. Amanda, this is your game. The 49ers win. They blow them out 41-22, but Jacoby Brissett over here breaking NFL records in the process.
How are you going to throw the most completions ever in an NFL game and lose by 20 points? Like we've got the number one or the most receiving yards in a game this season. Michael Wilson, 15 catches for 185 yards. We've got all-time completions record, and we lose by 20. Like, what the actual hell, guys?
Yeah, I did my job.
Yeah, they both did their like they were connecting great.
Like that's all you're gonna say. I did my job. Yeah.
Man, though, that damn defense.
You gotta be happy with the record though. Like as bad as it looks, you still got it. I think I can't think of his name right now. He's like one of the best people ever. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, Derek Thomas. Like he got the sack record and they ended up losing the game though. So he had like 7 sacks and they lost that game. I'm pretty sure he's okay with that.
Yeah,
I know he's not here anymore, so I'm just saying I'm pretty sure that he was like, I'm in the record book. At least, hey, you can't take that record. So I think he's pissed off they lost, but at the end of the day, he's like, I'm being there for a while. Like this ain't gonna get broke.
He threw 2 picks. Like he kind of did his job. He had 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Like, I'll give it more to his receiver on that one, but it's just so funny to me. Like Arizona special teams, I don't know if they're still ranked number 1, but they were number 1 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm so jealous of their special teams, but like the rest of the team is just such a hot mess. Like, what a weird thing to be good at.
Take the Cardinals special teams and bring it over to Green Bay, right?
Oh my God. Makes me think inappropriate thoughts. Yeah, I would love that.
But the 49ers, they get Brock Purdy back, and he provides a spark. 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. They put up 41 points. Got Christian McCaffrey going, got George Kittle going. So The 49ers, they improved to 7-4. Despite all the injuries, they're right there in the mix in the NFC West. So they're fun to watch.
Can you
Uh,
imagine if in week one someone was like, hey, guess the 49ers record going into week 12? They're going to lose this player for this many weeks, this player, this player, this player, this player. You'd be like,
yeah,
two
be
and
like
nine.
2-8 right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2 wins. It's crazy that they've kept their team in it week after week with all those injuries. Like they're fantastic at next man up and just bringing the
yeah.
next player in.
Shout out Kyle Shanahan, defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, all those guys, GM John Lynch. Great game in week 12. The 6-5 Panthers at the 7-4 49ers. That's actually a sneaky, really good, should be entertaining game. Abe, the 4-5 Ravens beat the 2-7 Browns, but it wasn't easy. They trailed 16-10 at halftime. They had to fight their way back to win 23-16. The Ravens now on a 3-game winning streak or 4-game winning streak. Do you think the Ravens can keep it up? They're only a game back of Pittsburgh now.
Not really. Myles Garrett 4 sacks, but they didn't look good on offense. Like he was holding the ball, and I'm not trying to knock Myles. He got like 9 sacks in 2 games, which is amazing. And like you lost the game, but you had 4 sacks. But if you watch how he got the sack, Lamar didn't look comfortable. I don't know if it's the receivers are not open. I don't know if they're just not playing like they usually do, but he usually is better with the ball when it comes to getting it out of his hand. Because if you see the sacks that Myles had, it was no like he beat got one guy one time on a great just like hump move, but Lamar was holding the ball, and the other sacks were Lamar was holding the ball, and I think that's something to do with either he's not comfortable running it like he used to, or he's really just trying to, or the confidence in his receivers is just not there. And the last play from Mark Andrews was effing sweet, though. I mean, that was just a nice little fake out. I like it. That was cute. I like cute.
Yeah, that was a nice play call. Abe, what do you think? So there's a lot of talk about Shedeur Sanders finally got his first NFL action in this game. He struggled, but a lot of people are pointing with
you should look, have first round. If you don't have first round reps, first of all, this was like 12 weeks of you not thinking you ever going to play. They're not giving you first round. They're not giving you anything that you can really play on. Like, this is what a game's supposed to look like for. It's different if he was like prepping to be a starter. They didn't prep him at all. They didn't give him any kind of, he even said this stuff. We haven't given him, only reps he got was the first reps he got in the first team was just then. So you can't expect him just to come in and just ball out. I think it'll be fine next week. It'll be a better Sanders next week if they give him the helm. But they were wrong as hell for how they did him. Just because the old boy got hurt, like, I would have just ran the ball, but I still got Junkins. I want to try to do anything amazing with a quarterback. I know he don't really know the plays and everything. Playing backup quarterbacks, you have different calls. Like you have different calls than you may have with a starting quarterback. And if he only doing serviceable reps, sure you get good passing out of it. That's 2 different defenses, man.
But Amanda, don't you think the Browns, once they trade away Flacco, don't you think they should be getting both their rookie quarterbacks some first-team reps? You're expecting to see both of them on the field at some point, right?
It's crazy to me how they were like, no, we're going to stick with Gabriel instead of being like, yeah, we're going to give Gabriel 4 starts to give him an opportunity to break in. And then we're going to give, like, if they had said from the beginning, like, yeah, we're going to split the rest of the season in half. But they were like, no, we're sticking with Gabriel. We're sticking with Gabriel. Like, that's so weird to me to not get them both. Like, they should still be doing a preseason tryout, basically. Like, that's what they should be doing for the rest of the season. Like, you don't have a starting quarterback. You have 2 wins. Like, give the rookies alternate games, get them both involved in practice, see who's going to be better. They need time to develop. Obviously, they're rookies. Like, the fact that they're not even putting him into to a chance where he can learn how to develop chemistry with the receivers is crazy to me.
Yeah, and Abe, I agree with you 100% that I think when Shedeur starts next week, he's going to have a much better chance at being successful.
They're playing the Raiders, yes. Why not? Perfect game to start on. The Raiders is the perfect game to start on. Sure, they got a great pass rusher, but this is the game that you want to look, man. You playing the Raiders, bro. Like,
well, as long as their star receivers don't go out drinking the night before the game and get benched for the first possession.
Yeah.
Well, but Abe, do you think are the Browns setting him up to fail by not giving him any first team reps at all up to this point?
Said that. I just said that, Alex. I just told you that was his first one. His first reps were lifted in the game. It makes no damn sense because you see what they were trying to do. They was trying to not get him in the game. If Gabriel wouldn't have got hurt, he still wouldn't have got reps. He would have never. Like Amanda just said, if they would have said we're gonna give you 4 games here and 4 games here, they didn't even say that. They were like, this is Dylan Gabriel. They were not gonna give him an opportunity. He got lucky to get an opportunity because of someone's injury. Like everything they've done this year has been counterproductive of him being a good quarterback. Everything, and like even when they try to talk about it, they don't try to talk about it. Or we're gonna do this. Now they have no choice. If they want to win a game, or if they even want to make it look like they're trying, if you want to keep your job, me personally, like how I feel about you aside, we have to do that in football. I don't care if I don't like you. I don't care if I didn't want to draft you. Like you're my guy, and like I'm sorry for bringing myself up. I had a conversation with my old player personnel guy, and I was like, dude, it's crazy how my ex-coach used to like almost ruin my career, and that's what this coach can do for him because of his personal feelings because of Shedeur. It has nothing to do with football. At the end of the day, this is your business. You're a head coach. You got to win some games. Get this guy in the best position possible so he can win. Regardless of you, if you don't like this guy, you still should want to see this guy flourish and be a good player.
I'm sorry, but Kevin Stefanski might be a former coach of the year. I think this is coaching malpractice. I don't know what the Browns are doing. This is 101 how to ruin a young quarterback going forward. They failed with Dylan Gabriel so far, and they're setting up Shedeur to fail. I don't understand the Browns at all.
Well, I mean, it's not the first time they've messed with a rookie quarterback who had potential's career. Like,
it's crazy how much dumb organizations do the same dumb shit over and over and over. The Bears, the Browns, across the board. It's very frustrating. But I think Shedeur is going to ball out against the Raiders. It's a great opportunity, and I think he's going to play much better. Amanda, let's talk about the Chiefs-Broncos. This was a hell of a game. This lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, I knew this one was going to be close. We knew it would be back and forth. Like the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes crying on the bench might be my favorite NFL picture this year. But I mean, the Broncos are clutch. The Broncos and the Bears, like they're the same team. Like they stumble into wins at the last minute. Like they'll be clumsy as hell throughout the entire game. And then squeak out a win in the fourth quarter. And it's fun, but like, do I think they're legit? I don't know yet. Like, I don't have confidence in them. They're fun, they're exciting, but I haven't been fully convinced yet because they're beating inadequate opponents. And I would like to see this continue as they, get into the harder stretch. I mean, we see the Chiefs on the schedule and we're like, oh, tough game. The Chiefs are not the Chiefs. Like this season's Chiefs are so bad. It was a great win for them. I mean, Bo Nix is playing amazing in this one. 295 yards, no touchdowns for him, but no turnovers, keeping it clean. But it was basically a rerun of the Bears game, honestly. Like the same vibes.
No, and Abe, the Broncos defense, much like the Texans, keeping them in games, even when the offense is struggling or not putting up a ton of points. Jaquan McMillan was huge in this game with 2 sacks and an interception. And Mahomes, usually we expect to see Mahomes magic and superhero stuff, but that interception late opened up the door, and it was a great play by the defense to keep points off the board, give it back to their offense. Denver's defense is carrying them, right?
Yeah, but this is the contrast what I see with the Falcons compared to Denver. Denver finds ways to win. The Falcons find to lose. Like Denver knows how to win at the end of the game. They never feel like, and that's a good thing to have. At the beginning of the season, when you win in those games late and it's close and we end up winning those games, that's where you have the confidence. See, the confidence flips with the Falcons because the games at the end they've lost. They've let people come back in, win. They've gotten killed one game, 30-0. But it seemed like now they're just like, my big thing was when I was talking on TV the other day with Maria, I said the Falcons they don't have that. They have the wrong go spirit. You should have less go spirit, but they got the here we go again spirit. Like, here we go. So they got the wrong spirit. Like, a good team have like Denver. Fourth quarter, let's go, let's go, let's go. Atlanta, here we go. So that's the kind of thing that you got to balance. And I think this is the team that has the let's go. Like, they don't ever feel like they're out of game. And like Amanda said, Kansas City is not scary anymore. And I told you this year is going to be like this, even though they try to hype them up the last 2 weeks. They try to hype them up the last 2 weeks, like, they're going to beat the team. They're going to win. All right, y'all talking too much.
Well, and you called it from preseason on. You said, I'm not buying the Chiefs this year compared to last year. What did you see, and what are you seeing now? Mahomes doesn't seem to have quite the same magic, and he's got weapons. He's got dudes. He's, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. What do you think is missing? Is it the running game?
I honestly think it's not the confidence per se, but the hunger. Like, the hunger is like they just seem like they know they're good. You had a bully sometime. You got to steal the bully. Like, you can't just like walk up on the bully and beat everybody in the cafeteria. But then that one time you got to wait till he ain't paying attention and you hit him in the face. I think they are kind of like that. They're just so bully, like they're in that bully phase right now. And people are like, okay, one person, the Philly showed them that the bully can get taken down. And now it's like, oh my God. My sister was like, I think it's a curse of Taylor Swift. I said, nah, they went to the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift. They went 15-2 with Taylor Swift last year. It has nothing to do with Taylor this year. They're just getting their butt kicked. You can't get the Taylor. I mean, I said, if Cardi B has got the Patriots winning, Taylor Swift is like, she got into the Super Bowl last year, so we can't put it on Taylor. But it's definitely, I think it's just a confidence thing. I think after this year, like I said, maybe 2-3 years, they're going to be back in the real Super Bowl contention because, like, bro, Patrick Mahomes ain't even just 30. Like, he got like about 10 good years and like literally got about 10, especially you seeing like Aaron Rodgers and these guys playing to 40. He got a whole big contract coming again. So it's going to be ridiculous.
And Amanda, I'm not ready to completely bury the Chiefs yet. Next week, they host the Colts. I've got the Chiefs winning that game. They're kind of an up and down team, but what hurts them is they're in a very tough division with the Chargers and the Broncos, and I don't think they can catch them. They might miss the playoffs entirely.
If they keep showing up like they have been, yes, but we do know the Chiefs like some late season, postseason magic, some calls that can be a little bit controversial going their way. So I'm not going to write them off till they've fully missed the cut and been eliminated because they have some shenanigans up their sleeve almost every season. So
don't bury them until there's absolutely no pulse. Don't give them a shot.
Yep.
Let's go Sunday Night Football, and this was my favorite game of the weekend. I called this game, Amanda. You heard me say it was my stone cold lock of the century, pick of the week. Amanda, you were smart, and at the last second switched your pick to the Eagles. Good job on that.
No, my pick was always the Eagles. I said I might switch to Detroit.
That's what it was.
I said based on vibes, I'm going to leave it open to maybe switching. That and the Seattle one, I was open to switching as well. But I stuck with my podcast picks.
Why were you feeling the Eagles? I know you like a lot of the Lions' weapons. What was it about this game?
I just feel like they've been a bit more stable the last couple of weeks. Dan Campbell taking over play calling seems like a panicky move to me, and Dan Campbell so hard. I mean, how many times are you gonna? And I get that kicking is an issue in this matchup, but how many times are you gonna have a turnover on downs in one game? Like, is there a record for that? Was it this game? Like, Jesus.
0 for 5. It's so bad. At some point, give up, right? And my point on the kicking is I know it was windy as hell, but the Eagles were kicking just fine. They were 3 for 3 on field goals, making their extra points. I think it was windy in the first half, but it died down a bit in the second half.
But Dan Campbell commits to something and then he does not change his play call, like his plan. If he's like, hey, our players are staying in the whole game, they could be up 50 points and they're going to keep Sam Laporta in through the fourth quarter to get him injured. Like, he doesn't
100%.
seem like someone who is flexible as the game develops and as things change throughout the game. It seems like he comes into the game with one plan and that's the only thing he can see. He gets tunnel vision and that's that.
That's a great point because Dan Campbell called a fake punt run, and the Eagles kept their number one defense on the field. They were expecting it, and he didn't change it at all. He just ran it, and another turnover on downs. Is that something Dan Campbell needs to work on, adjusting and being flexible?
It's the wildcat scenario. Like after a while, people know that you're gonna go for it on the fourth down, so they work on defense. That's what I was saying. Like knowing football is like we know what plays you're gonna want on fourth down now. Like we know that, so it's not like you're not surprised. When we first, I remember the first year that Detroit was doing it, everybody was like, "What the heck are they doing? It's fourth. They're going for it on fourth. Oh my god!" Then everybody else started going for it on fourth a lot more, and now it's just like we know y'all gonna do. We pretty much see y'all whole repertoire on fourth down plays. Think about it, they've been doing it for about 3 years. So all these plays, everybody knows, okay, they line up in 11, they're running this. They line up in 12, they're running this. They line up in 21, they're running this. So you have a little thing, so you know what defense to play against. And so it's getting tougher. Not saying they won't make some fourth downs here and there. And I definitely know it's a part of their repertoire now. They're not going to get it away from it. The only thing that's been really working is the tush push. And we haven't been able to solve that yet. But after a while, the tush push is going to get old. Other people try to do their own thing or on like little kind of design from the tush push, other things, but it's this. You're gonna have games that this is not going to be. I mean, it's just part of football. You're gonna have games where it doesn't work. Like, and then next week they might go 5 for 5 fourth down because they're gonna have to change the fourth down plays up now.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me that on the tush push in this one, we saw Detroit get away with a missed penalty. That's the first time I've seen the other team get away with one. I was like, wait, hold up. They were no, okay. I guess we're just not calling any penalties on this play.
Why did the one guy touch the guy's hand though? I was wondering what he was thinking.
I don't know.
You didn't see that? He was literally just like, I was
like, just pat him. Maybe there was a bug on him. I don't know.
Yeah, that was bad. It was like
you talked about the wind affecting kicking. Do you think the wind was affecting Jared Goff's completions? Because he was 2 for 18 in the second at times in the second half.
I feel like his confidence is so related to like he just seems really sensitive. Like you can tell when his head's not in it and he's not in the right mind space. Like I just feel like the tension with Dan Campbell, like Dan Campbell seems frustrated. He seems like, all right, I'm going to take over play calling. And I feel like Jared Goff has to be like an empath or something because he's just absorbing all that tension, all the anxiety, and he's playing like it. Like it just, every game we've seen where Goff has had a bad game, it doesn't seem like the team is in a good headspace going into the game. Like we can see other quarterbacks come in and overcome being down at the half and overcome like a messy, like, oh, our coach got fired this week and pull off a win. Jared Goff is not that quarterback who can do that. He plays well with a lead when the team is confident, when his receivers are getting open and getting to the ball. And this was not that kind of game for him.
Now, I saw some Lions fans saying that the late pass interference call that kept the drive going and didn't give Jared Goff a chance to tie it, that was what decided the game. Do you guys buy that at all?
The vibes were off long before that. Do I think that was a little ticky-tacky?
Yeah.
But also as a defensive player, like when you're wide open and the ball is coming to your guy, like pull off a little bit. Like the receivers couldn't catch anything this game anyway. Like don't do anything that might be a penalty that late in the game. Like that's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. And then let's go to so the Eagles get to 8-2. They lose Lane Johnson for 4 to 6 weeks with a Liz Frank injury, so that's something to keep an eye on for sure. They play at the Cowboys next week. That's going to be a big game. And Abe, speaking of the Cowboys, they go into Vegas and get a big win over the Raiders. And how about the new additions with Quinnen Williams over there, with getting DeMarvion Overshown back? Maybe that defense can start playing a little bit better with the new toys they got in.
Why would you consider this a big win? They played the Raiders. Yeah, okay. See, you always be over exaggerating shit. You they get a big win. I'm like, okay, what's so big about beating the Raiders? Like,
okay, can we talk about that safety? It's crazy how using your 6th overall draft pick to draft a running back instead of doing anything to your O-line that is literally made of a fucking tissue is going to lead to a safety. Crazy how that didn't work out for them. That play call was so stupid. I predicted a safety for each of the 3 snaps before that. Like that was going to be a safety anyway. I don't know what the play call was. I don't know what the plan was. Like their O-line is so bad.
Yeah. It's the Raiders are interesting because Pete Carroll loves to run the ball. He's a run first type of head coach, but then you got Chip Kelly, who's like the anti run the ball,
Mhm.
fast paced, go, go, go. So I'm not, the Raiders are a very confusing team, and I can't really get behind them at all. But Abe, I wanted to mention to you, you had talked about on the podcast last week about how Herm Edwards had sat you for like the opening play and then brought you in, and that had taken a start off of your. It was very interesting. The Cowboys did that to both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, kept them off the field for the first series, and they go 3-and-out. What kind of shit is that? And that took starts away from both of them.
Yeah, that comes from whatever you did on that. Like whatever you did, like Amanda said, whatever you did the night before or that Friday, come in the meetings a little late or whatever. They and he, with those kind of players, their names are too big that we don't notice.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
both of them standing right beside each other, like, oh, okay, and then they went in. It definitely was a discipline thing, but I like how they kept it in house. They didn't,
They
try
didn't
to.
broadcast it.
They didn't
I
try to
mean,
say they'll be sick. It was nothing like that. It was just kind of like a coach's call. Like, look, y'all effed up. We need y'all for the game. We know that. So you're not gonna miss the game, but you're definitely not gonna start this game.
the
So,
game was in Vegas.
so
There were
some
people out and about who were like, yeah, I saw him around 3 a.m. Like, if they
yeah.
were out drinking the night before and showed up hungover or late to a meeting, they deserve to sit their asses on the bench.
Yeah. Well, anything you guys want to add? Let's talk about Thursday night. Anything else you want to talk about before we do our pick?
No, other than only the Raiders can make the Cowboys defense look that good. Like that defense looked amazing. Like the 85 Bears. Like, but it took the Raiders to make them look like that. Like,
That's funny.
Well,
am I wrong? Show me where that's wrong.
Wrong,
so
you're not wrong.
I'll agree with you, but also I think there's a chance this Cowboys defense could improve. They are getting healthy. DeMarvion Overshown was balling last year before he got hurt. Adding
Quinnen
Quinn
Williams,
Williams.
he's been so
Yeah,
good. I mean his team debut, first sack since week one. It's clearly a better fit for him.
yeah,
I think their defense is good, but like they're not as good as they looked in this one. Like
yeah.
they
They're
played
not
the
the
second worst
doomsday.
O-line in the league.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do our Thursday night picks for week 12. We've got the Bills and the Texans. The 7-3 Bills at the 5-5 Texans. Davis Mills will be starting for Houston. I think we're probably all going to be picking Buffalo, but is anyone going to go Houston here with Davis Mills? Abe, are you leaning Texans at home against Josh Allen's Bills?
I just think about the Miami game and the Falcons game, and like the Texans is the team that you're supposed to be. Like, y'all just keep me on the tie. I'm going to do a tie again. Get another tie for the season. That'll be cute.
I just want somebody else to have one. I hate being the only team with a tie this year.
So that's what we're rooting for, a tie in Houston.
No, not this matchup. The Bills are absolutely winning.
Well, check out the Houston defense now. Houston defense wakes up. If Hunter and Will Anderson start kicking ass, I don't know now because y'all ain't
Okay,
too good at
so
that.
Houston's defense is number one or number two across almost every stat except for red zone.
Okay.
And that is somewhere where like Josh Allen will just run through you. They're 28th in red zone defense. Everything else, total yards, total EPA, points allowed per game, all number one. Points per play, second in the league. Red zone, Josh Allen's going to truck through them.
Amanda's partly a Bills fan, so I like the optimism. I am not. Josh Allen's not going for 6 touchdowns in this game. I think this is going to be a very competitive game, and
I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, the Texans might steal this one. I cannot pick it, however. I'm going to pick the Bills. I think that's the common sense approach. We expect the Bills to win, but if for any reason the Bills don't show up, like Atlanta, like Miami, the Texans are very capable of stealing this one. So I'm actually going to be paying attention. I'm interested to see how this game goes. Buffalo cannot take this team lightly at all. But Bills should win.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be lower scoring. I feel like the defense will keep the Texans in it. But I just feel like they're going to be riding way too high to come down and drop one here. Like I think the
Yeah.
Bills are feeling great. I mean, that Bucks matchup was great. A lot of back and forth, very evenly matched teams. But I don't see that Texans offense putting up enough points to counteract what Josh Allen is going to do.
Feed James Cook. That's the recipe for success in Buffalo. I'm going to predict the Bills 23, the Texans 20.
Oh.
So good shit as always, guys. AAA never disappoints. Thanks, Abe. Thanks, Amanda. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great week, guys, and peace out.